So, today we're diving into one of the biggest shakeups in the healthcare industry. UnitedHealth Group's CEO Andrew Whitty has stepped down, and Stephen Hemsley is back at the helm.
Yeah, that caught everyone off guard. I mean, Whitty's departure was framed as personal, but with everything going on, lawsuits, skyrocketing medical costs, federal investigations, it's hard not to see deeper reasons behind it.
Exactly. And what's even more dramatic is that UnitedHealth suspended its 2025 forecast. That's a huge move for a company that's usually seen as a rock-solid performer. And
it sends a message. They really don't know how bad things could get. Their Medicare Advantage business is a key culprit here. Costs are ballooning, and utilization rates are way higher than expected.
Medicare Advantage was once their golden goose. Now it's turning into a liability. And with an aging population demanding more care, that pressure's not going away anytime soon.
Plus, inflation has just made everything worse. Supplies, labor, prescriptions. Even small increases per patient scale massively when you have millions of members.
And then there's the DOJ investigation. They're looking into potential antitrust issues related to UnitedHealth's aggressive acquisitions of physician groups. That could be a real regulatory nightmare.
Yeah, critics argue UnitedHealth's getting too powerful, controlling both the insurance side and the care delivery side. That raises serious concerns about pricing and competition.
Hemsley's return feels like a move to calm the markets. He's credited with building UnitedHealth into the behemoth it is today, but do you think he's the right long-term answer?
Hard to say. He's 73, so this may just be a stabilizing interim step. But his deep knowledge of the company gives him an edge in this moment of crisis.
One of his first big challenges will be regaining investor trust. The stock took a brutal 11% dive after the announcement. Billions wiped out in a day.
That's huge. And don't forget the shareholder lawsuits. They're accusing UnitedHealth of misleading investors about its financial health. That could cost more than money. It hits credibility.
And credibility's hard to buy back once it's lost. Even with cost-cutting efforts like stricter utilization controls and adjusted provider payments, they have to be careful.
Right? Because cutting too deep might save money, but also spark backlash from providers and patients. That's a PR and policy mess waiting to happen.
Hemsley also has to steer through the legal landmines. If the DOJ probe leads to asset divestitures or fines, it could really reshape the company's structure.
And all this is happening in a healthcare landscape that's evolving fast. New tech, shifting patient expectations, tighter regulations. UnitedHealth has to adapt or risk falling behind.
What's interesting is how this reflects broader industry problems. UnitedHealth isn't the only one facing cost pressures, regulatory scrutiny, and operational headaches.
True. In some ways, they're a case study in what happens when a giant company hits turbulence. How leadership, strategy, and adaptability all get tested at once.
So the big question is, can Hemsley pull off a turnaround? Or is this just the beginning of a deeper unraveling?
It's going to depend on how decisively and transparently they act. The playbook has to shift from growth at all costs to sustainable, accountable operations.
And they've got to do it while maintaining the trust of consumers, regulators, and Wall Street. Not an easy trifecta.
Not at all. But if they can realign priorities and rebuild confidence, they might not just survive. They could set a new standard for the industry.
Either way, this moment is going to be studied for years. Leadership transitions under pressure reveal a lot about a company's core.
And if they fail, it won't just be a leadership crisis. It could ripple through the entire healthcare system.
That's the weight of UnitedHealth's size and influence. So, as this unfolds, the entire sector and millions of Americans will be watching closely.
Absolutely. The next chapter is still unwritten, but the stakes couldn't be higher.